At first, when she has you, she doesn't see your value clearly. It's not that she doesn't notice the good things you do, it's that she's numb to them because you're always there. She gets used to your presence, to the way you show up, to the little acts of care and effort you bring into her life. She sees your consistency as something that will never disappear, something that will always be there no matter how she treats you. And this is the beginning of how a woman takes a man for granted. It's never in one dramatic moment, it's gradual. It's in the way she expects you to reply instantly while she takes hours. It's in the way she expects you to plan the dates while she just shows up. It's in the way she assumes your loyalty is guaranteed, even when she tests your patience with disrespect. She doesn't see your worth when you're there every day. She only sees it when you're gone. The first stage of her missing you doesn't come when you leave. It comes much later when she realizes no one else treats her the way you did. At first, she'll try to replace you with distractions, friends, parties, validation from strangers, maybe even a rebound relationship. She'll convince herself she's happier without you, that she's free, that she has options. But here's the thing, those options don't provide the depth you did. The new guys she entertains don't care about her the way you did. They don't listen to her stories with the same interest. They don't notice the little things that matter to her. They just see her as another girl to spend time with, not as a woman worth investing in. And slowly reality sets in. She lost the one man who actually valued her. That realization creeps in like a shadow, and it begins to gnaw at her every time she compares the men she meets to the man she once had. Women are emotional creatures, and regret is one of the heaviest emotions they feel when it comes to relationships. When she loses you, she doesn't just lose your presence, she loses the emotional security that came with it. She starts to remember the small things, the way you laughed at her bad jokes, the way you calmed her down when she was stressed, the way you made her feel safe at night when she slept in your arms. At the time, those things seemed normal to her. Now they feel like luxuries she may never find again. And this is where her missing you truly begins. It's not about missing your face, your body, or your voice. It's about missing the feeling of being with a man who truly cared. That's what she can't replicate with anyone else, and that's why the regret cuts so deeply. Ironically, women don't usually regret losing a man right away. Their ego and their pride won't let them. At first, they convince themselves they've made the right decision, or that they don't care if you walked away. They may even mock you, act cold, or pretend like your absence doesn't affect them. But time is the great equalizer. As days turn into weeks, and weeks into months, her mask starts to crack. She begins to feel the emptiness of not having you around. She starts to realize that all the attention from other men doesn't mean anything compared to the genuine love you gave her. And by the time she truly feels the loss, it's too late. Because now, you've begun to heal, to rebuild, to rediscover your worth without her. The more she tries to replace you, the more she fails. That's the paradox women face when they take a man for granted. In her mind, she thought you were just another guy. She thought she could walk out of your life and easily find another man who treated her the same way. But reality proves otherwise, because while men who want her body are everywhere, men who want her soul are rare. And when she realizes how rare you actually were, regret begins to consume her. Every new man she meets only amplifies her loss. She starts comparing them to you, and none of them measure up. And in her quietest, loneliest moments, she begins to wonder if she'll ever find another man like you again, or if she already had her best and ruined it forever. When a woman takes a man for granted, she assumes he will always stay no matter what. But the moment you finally walk away, you shatter that illusion, and that's when the shock hits her hardest. She expected you to keep fighting for her, to keep chasing her, to keep tolerating her disrespect. But when you stopped, when you walked away with dignity instead of begging, you flipped the script. Suddenly, she's not the one with power, you are. Because the greatest power a man can hold over a woman is not anger, not revenge, not control, it's indifference. The second she realizes you can live without her, that's the moment she starts to miss you in ways she can't even admit out loud. Her regret doesn't come all at once, it comes in waves. The first wave hits when she sees you smiling without her. Maybe you post a picture, maybe a mutual friend mentions that you're doing well, maybe she runs into you unexpectedly, and when she sees you happy without her, it crushes her ego. The second wave hits when she's alone, late at night, scrolling through her phone, tempted to text you but too prideful to admit it. She types your name, writes a message, deletes it, and repeats the cycle over and over. The third wave comes when she realizes no one else is pursuing her with the same seriousness you did. And that's when her regret becomes permanent, because she knows deep down that she had something real and she let it slip away. A woman doesn't just miss you for who you are, she misses how you made her feel. This is something most men don't understand. She doesn't miss the gifts, the compliments, or even the effort you put in. She misses the way you made her feel like she was the only woman in the world. She misses the way your calmness balanced her chaos. She misses the way your masculinity grounded her emotions. She misses the way you made her laugh when she was in tears. Those feelings are addictive, and when she loses them, it feels like withdrawal. She may try to distract herself, but eventually she will crave that feeling again. And when she realizes no one else can give it to her, she starts to miss you in ways that keep her awake at night. Her missing you will show up in small, subtle actions. She may like an old photo of yours on social media. She may randomly view your stories. She may send you a "how have you been" message after months of silence. These actions aren't accidents, they're signals. They're her way of testing the waters, of seeing if the door is still open. But here's the truth. The man who has healed, who has moved on, who has rebuilt his self-worth, doesn't fall for these games. He sees them for what they are, proof that she regrets taking him for granted. And the best response is not to rush back into her arms, but to stay calm, composed, and in control. Because the moment you show her you don't need her anymore, that's the moment she misses you even more. What really destroys her is the realization that she can't replace you. Women are told that they have endless options, and while that may be true on the surface, options don't equal quality. She may have men lining up to sleep with her, but she doesn't have men lining up to commit, protect, and invest. That's what makes you irreplaceable. You weren't just another option, you were the man who stood out from the rest. And once she realizes that, once she feels the emptiness of entertaining men who only want a piece of her, but not the whole of her, she starts to miss the man who did. And that's when regret hits her with full force. By the time she starts missing you, you're no longer the same man. This is the irony of it all. The version of you she took for granted is not the version of you that exists anymore. Because walking away from her forced you to grow. You discovered your strength, your self-respect, your independence. You built yourself back up from the pain she caused. And now, you're not just the man she regrets losing. You're a stronger, wiser, and more valuable version of him. And that makes her regret even worse, because she realizes the man she wants back is no longer accessible. When she finally realizes what she lost, it's too late. She'll try to come back, to test the waters, to see if she still has a chance. She may even humble herself in ways she never did before. But deep down, you know the truth. Once someone takes you for granted, they'll do it again. That's why the greatest revenge is not taking her back. It's letting her sit in her regret while you live your life. Because nothing teaches a woman the value of a good man more than watching him thrive without her. Her regret will linger long after you've moved on. She'll think about you when she's with other men. She'll compare every date to the time she spent with you. She'll replay your conversations in her head, wondering what she could have done differently. And no matter how hard she tries to bury those feelings, they'll resurface every time she realizes the men around her don't measure up. This is the burden she carries for taking you for granted. And it's a burden she can never escape. Most men never see this transformation happen because they're too focused on trying to get her back. But the truth is, the moment you stop chasing, stop begging, and stop giving her attention, that's when the shift happens. That's when she starts to feel your absence. That's when she starts to regret her choices. And that's when she starts to miss you. Because the very thing that made her take you for granted, your availability, becomes the thing she craves the most once it's gone. The hardest part for her is admitting to herself that she made a mistake. Women are prideful, and they don't like to admit when they've messed up. So instead of saying, "I regret losing you," she'll show it through actions. She'll linger around you. She'll try to start conversations. She'll test your response. She'll do everything except directly admit her regret. And the reason she can't say it out loud is because it means accepting the truth that she lost a man who was one of a kind. Her missing you is not about loneliness, it's about scarcity. She realizes that men like you don't come around often. Men who are strong, loyal, and committed are rare in a world full of half-hearted players. And when she sees that she had one and lost him, scarcity kicks in. She starts to panic, to wonder if she'll ever find another man like you. And that fear fuels her regret even more. Because deep down, she knows the answer: she won't. This is why patience is the greatest weapon a man can have in relationships. You don't have to get revenge. You don't have to prove your worth to her. All you have to do is walk away with dignity and let time do the work. Because over time, she will miss you. Over time, she will regret losing you. And over time, she will realize she took you for granted. Your calmness, your silence, your ability to move on. These are the things that make her crumble inside. When she starts missing you, it won't feel like a gentle longing. It will feel like an ache. It will hit her when she least expects it. When she hears a song that reminds her of you. When she passes by a place you both used to go. When she smells a scent that takes her back to the nights you spent together. Every reminder will sting like a wound that never heals. And no matter how much she tries to distract herself, the ache will stay. Because it's not just about missing you, it's about missing the life she could have had with you. Her regret will turn into obsession when she realizes you've moved on to someone else. Seeing you happy with another woman will break her in ways she never expected. She'll act like she doesn't care, but deep down, it will burn her. Because nothing stings more than watching another woman enjoy the man she once had. She'll start asking herself, why didn't I appreciate him? Why didn't I treat him better? Why did I let him go? And those questions will haunt her for years. The truth is, women don't miss the man they left. They miss the man who left them. They don't regret breaking your heart. They regret realizing you healed without them. They don't miss the arguments or the struggles. They miss the calm, the strength, and the love you gave them. And when they finally realize they can't get it back, that's when the regret becomes permanent. At this point, her missing you is no longer about love. It's about survival. She realizes that in a world full of temporary men, she let go of the one man who was permanent. And that realization shakes her to her core. It makes her question her judgment, her choices, and her worth. Because if she couldn't keep a man like you, what does that say about her? And that question will echo in her mind long after you've forgotten about her. The irony is that her regret doesn't benefit her, it benefits you. Because while she's stuck in the past, you're building a future. While she's trapped in her mistakes, you're growing into your potential. While she's replaying memories, you're creating new ones. And that's the ultimate victory. Not proving her wrong, but proving yourself right. You were always valuable. You were always worthy. She just didn't see it until it was too late. Her regret will come in silence, in moments when no one is watching. She'll smile in public, laugh with friends, and post happy pictures online. But when she's alone, she'll cry into her pillow, wondering why she let you go. She'll check her phone, hoping for a message from you that never comes. She'll stare at your old photos, wishing she could go back in time. And in those moments, she'll finally understand the pain she put you through. But by then, it won't matter anymore. Because once a man truly lets go, there is no going back. The man who begged, pleaded, and fought for her is gone. What remains is a man who knows his worth, who values his peace, and who refuses to be taken for granted again. And that's what makes her miss you even more. The fact that the door is closed and she can't get back in. So brother, here's the brutal truth. She will miss you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually she will. She will regret taking you for granted. She will regret losing a man who was irreplaceable. But by the time she realizes it, you'll be gone. You'll have built yourself into the man she never thought you could be. And that's the greatest lesson of all. The man who walks away always wins in the end. Because women only start missing the man they took for granted when it's too late. And by then, you've already moved on to a better life.